watching QTV Youth Dialogue and I am Jana Basonko. So today we're not in the studios in our usual position. Today we're live from the OIC Summit venue and I'm super excited because I've been emphasizing the fact that it is important that young people take center stage when it comes to the Gambia hosting the 15th OIC Summit. And with me, I'm here with Basiru J, who's a part of the local organizing committee, and Day Kumba Demba as well is part of the local organizing committee, as well as the staff at the OIC Secretariat. And I'm so glad that the both of you are young people and joining me on this program to further reiterate the importance of having young people in the center of it all. Ndai Kumba, we started this discussion in the studio during the Ramadan, and I'm happy that you're able to join me back here again. But for Basiru, we're just, starting to have this conversation in general, and I'm happy that you work for the National Youth Council, the body responsible for young people's affairs in the country. So generally, at the level of the National Youth Council, to start with, how have you been approaching the 15th OIC Summit, the main summit, 4th and 5th, which is just 3 days away?
Well, thank you so much, Jainaba. Assalamu alaikum to all who are watching out there. My name is Basiru J. I work at the National Youth Council. We are very excited because there is history, I will say, and we are grateful that the National Youth Council has been actively participating in the preparation of the summit, because we have received a letter from the OIC Secretariat requesting a support. So that's the reason why I am here. So it has been an amazing experience working with different people. Now as well, on the whole, it's for the Gambia.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited to serve because Gambia is what we have. So regardless of no matter what we are, where we come from, or our level of intervention, but I see that collectively we can make the Gambia better.
Yeah, surely. Ndai Kumba, I can remember how excited you were in the studio, and I recently watched an interview with Aliou Cisse on QTV News. It was on the news, and just your facial expression actually showed how excited you are for the fact that you work in the Secretariat. You've been there for the past years, actually seeing the build up to 4th and 5th May. So how do you feel at this point? Are you anxious? How are you feeling inside? Is it stressful? What is the experience of just ensuring that things are in place?
Yes. So good evening, Gina. Good evening to your viewers, and thank you for inviting me back to this platform. I think basically to just pick up from where we left off the last time.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I was so excited because Ali was asking me for my personal experience.
Exactly.
Being here from the start, going through the preparatory efforts, working with different stakeholders, different bodies, different entities to ensure that we host a successful summit.
Right.
So to finally be here in the moment is actually very exciting.
Right.
And you did mention stress. Well, there's a lot of stress to go around.
The tension. Let's call it tension.
There's too much. There's too much to be done.
Yeah.
But we are more than happy to ensure that there's everything goes smoothly, and that we are hosting a very successful summit. And I think the first day of the summit really speaks volume as to the level of preparation that has gone into the Gambia's hosting. I know you've been around the center.
Yes.
You've seen what the center looks like. I mean, it's amazing to really look at Gambia taking center stage in the world, its rightful position, and then welcoming all these delegates to the country and holding such important discussions at the helm of world affairs. So it's really a great honor, an exciting moment for all of us at the Secretariat.
Yeah, I know.
And I would like to believe an extension also to the Gambian people.
Yes, I know. We talked about this in the studio about the AU summit. I'll get back to that with Basiru. Basiru, fan nga nekon time AU summit. Parce que man personally, remember. I don't know if Ibrahim Balde is watching because mom mune gison na Kofi Annan. He was outside. He was part of the ones welcoming the delegates, and he saw Kofi Annan, and that was his interest. So what was your experience? Can you remember anything from the hosting of the AU summit?
I can remember some little things because even though I was very young, what I can remember is the parading of the vehicle, because because if you live in Banjul, you will be opportune to see how the country was and then how the city was so packed up with lots of vehicles. That was the experience, because by then we didn't know what was happening. We just
saw cars
moving around with parades. So it was an exciting moment for us. But for now, we are partaking in the actual thing
old enough. Guys, you know what's the beautiful part of it all? The fact that when I grow older, I'm going to have this conversation with my children or probably my grandchildren.
Inshallah.
You know, just that is beautiful, because then New Feke One AU Summit talked about it. You know, I'm asking questions and they're telling me a few things. So now I'm privileged, alhamdulillah, to witness this, and I'll also narrate it someday. And I think that is beautiful.
Last year OIC, you'll be able to
say something.
Yes, exactly.
It's a beautiful feeling, generally.
Because there is one thing about the summit. Is, if you look at the Gambia, we depend hugely in tourism.
Yes.
And I can reference from Rwanda, Kigali, which they have a strategy of bringing lots of people to the country. This is how they can move their country forward. So this summit is not only bringing people together, but also it is selling out the Gambia for people to come and then invest. Because having around 57 member states with their delegation, you know, coming to the Smiling Coast,
it's an amazing
this is a huge opportunity for the Gambia. So regardless of where you are, you have to be part of moving the country forward through you know, showcasing what we have, because after everything, Gambia remains. That's the only thing that we can sell out there. So we have to be all out, support the cause, and at the end of the day, history will be for everyone, as you said. When the other generation comes in, we can tell them.
I think what Basiru, just to add on a little bit to what he's saying, I think at this point we should all be ambassadors of the Gambia. No matter where you are, if you're interacting with people, you're interacting with delegates, we have received quite a number of people, so we should all be good ambassadors of the country.
And like I said, I continue to say this. It's either gena nga rahas nga balenga sa bunti kër, raise nga a flag sa bunti kër. Just look for any way to contribute and to have that sense of belonging to the entire process. It's a beautiful thing, you know, just to look for a way to just squeeze yourself to do something positive. It's the beautiful
thing.
And
in addition to that, some delegates come in early before the actual summit. I've met quite a few delegates in the evening walking around Senegambia, exploring on their own.
So it's amazing.
So it's a good opportunity for them, and I'm glad that some delegates are taking the time, you know, to explore the country while they're here before they leave, which is ultimately also one of our goals.
So Ndaikumba, there's a technical aspect to this all, because we know that preparatory meetings took place from yesterday to today, which has to do with the ambassadors, the foreign ministers, and the list goes on, where they, you know, come into sessions and put together the documents that will be carried forward for the actual main summit. Can you just explain this further, you know, to young people, for them to understand actually what has been going on?
So before we get to the 15th summit itself, which is the summit of heads of states and government, it starts with the technical meeting where you have senior officials from all the representative countries to the OIC, where they discuss matters of importance to the Umrah. And currently you can imagine what their agenda is, given what is going on around the world. So their level, they discuss and prepare documents that moves from the level of the senior officials and then goes to the foreign ministers. So foreign ministers also have, they have 2 days of deliberation to go over the documents that were submitted by the senior officials meeting as an outcome of that meeting. So after their discussions, when we finally have the 15th OIC summit, which is the representation of the heads of state, that's where also they discussed the documents that came from that as an outcome of the Council of Foreign Ministers, which was preceded by the senior officials meeting. So whatever document comes out of that is what will be known as the Banjul Declaration.
Exactly. So I think that it's very important because a lot of people are confused about what is happening. So to a lot of people, it's just the 4th and the 5th. And it's beyond that, you know, conversations actually start beyond.
There are meetings that precede the actual event itself.
So Basiru, I'm also aware that there's a youth component to this whole OIC, you know, because Alaji Jaju, who is the executive director of the National Youth Council, has a seat at this OIC Youth Forum.
ICYF.
Yes,
ICYF,
exactly. So what is the Gambia's stance when it comes to the ICYF?
Yes, the ICYF, we all understand, is the youth component of the OIC. They work under the umbrella of OIC. So currently, the president and then they have two delegates, and then they will be representing the entire young people within the OIC, ICYF, because they are the body responsible to run all the affairs within the OIC. So youth is a critical component in all discussions. So at the end of the day, if there is a, like they said at the technical meeting, if anything that is related to youth issue, it will be directed it will be channeled to ICYF, and then we are lucky for our executive director to be the vice president in the Africa group. So it's a win-win situation. We know at the end of the day, from the expert meeting, or we call it from the technical meeting, the declaration will be put forward, and then if there is anything that is related to youth issue, it will be taken up, and again it will be sent to all member states. So it will be served as a call to action. So from there, Alaji Jaju is the vice president to the Africa group. He will be tasked to make sure that all those key issues are implemented.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's quite an amazing feat to have him at the helm of affairs at the YCF. I think it's something really to be proud of, and it is also a huge feat for him. And just like Basiru said, if the outcome, anything that is related to youth would be channeled to the ICYF, and we are so lucky to have Alaji as the vice president. So we would expect a lot of activities that are related to the youths to be carried out here in the Gambia.
And then just to add on, we'll be very happy to also have Banjul as the youth capital. I know we were working on it last year.
So that means what? If Banjul is the youth capital, what happens?
So it's like all the member states within the ICYF also, young delegates will be coming to the Gambia to have a camp.
And anything that is OIC youth related,
it will be done in the Gambia.
That
is amazing. That's
they have summits, they have camps, trainings. Like, it's a lot of youth-centered activities. And any country that is the youth capital
has that privilege.
Of the year, enjoys that privilege. Basiru and I worked on it previously last year, and that is something that through the executive director that we will continue to pursue. And let's remember also that Gambia, after this summit, is hosted, is going to be chair of the OIC.
I was actually going to come to that. What does that mean, Deikumba? Because, you know, it's a question. People actually thought that, after the OIC, the secretariat is going to close down. Everywhere is going to close down. I'm like, calm down, guys. Gambia is going to be, for 3 years, you know, the chair. But what happens during that period, especially with the secretariat?
Yes, so what happens during that period is when something happens within the OIC, the entire UMRA will look to Gambia for leadership. Like, for instance, sometime last year, there was an emergency meeting that was convened in Saudi Arabia, and all the member states were there. So if, for instance, now, if there was a need for an emergency meeting or any sort of meeting during Gambia's chairmanship, it will be here in the Gambia. But in addition to that, also, if you look at our theme, which is enhancing unity and solidarity through dialogue for sustainable development, that team came from Gambia's, it's a prelude to what Gambia's chairmanship would look like.
Okay.
So once you're the chair, Gambia wants to use this as an opportunity to foster dialogue between the members of the OIC. And in addition to that also, we've noticed quite a huge disparity in terms of GDP between the wealthy nations of the OIC and the poorer nations of the OIC. So it is our goal to help foster
strike a balance.
Yes, unity and dialogue between countries, and also promote sustainable development. So that is Gambia's that will be part of Gambia's agenda during the chairmanship, which is why it is very central in what our theme is, to set the stage for what our chairmanship will look like.
Yeah, and also, you know, obviously part of this program is to ensure that we expose mentors to young people, for young people to learn from already existing Gambians who are doing really well. The chairman of the Q Group, through Espas Motors, actually won a tender out of 7 countries to deliver some over 80 vehicles to the OIC Secretariat for the successful hosting of the OIC Summit. So part of that is us as young people also learning from those things to ensure that we keep reminding ourselves that Gambians can do it. You know, in a normal circumstance, you will give a contract as such to, you know, to a foreigner. So as young people, the belief, I think, starts now, because we already see all the individuals who are doing it.
Just to add on that, I don't know, this country has, our ancestors has something that they have sprayed all the entire Gambia.
Why is that?
But whenever we go outside, we are very well respected. And
Yes,
then
I
naturally, Gambians are loved. I don't know for some reason why, because if you go outside, we really perform. I'm just from Libya, from a CENSAT meeting, which is the 8th regional economic group of the African Union. So, and Gambia really did well, and something is coming also for the Gambia.
Spill the beans. This is the huge show. Let him spill the beans. We want to know what's happening. You already know.
No, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Let's just hold it
spill
for
beans.
now.
See, so when you celebrate,
But the fact that he said something big is coming out,
then we're waiting.
I am good with that.
Well,
Yes.
at least we knew something good came out of it.
Something big is coming for the young people in this country, aside from the OIC as well, but it is all under the umbrella.
Okay.
And then the CENSAT delegation also, they will be here in the Gambia. So let's just
Looking
wait.
forward.
Yeah,
Looking forward.
let's just
We
wait for
were
that.
talking about you know, that sense of Gambianism, promoting, you know, our own and all of that, and that has been demonstrated with this particular tender that was out, and the Cree Group chairman was able to have it. So as young people, I think we should have the belief that we can in our own country.
Yeah, I think what the OIC has done, and I think this was greatly anticipated, is to contribute greatly to the economy of the Gambia. We have seen businesses benefit greatly from the OIC. Let's talk about the hotels, where we have over how many delegates spread across hotels in the country. That is revenue for the hotels. And then we look at even here when it comes to capacity at the center, the amount of workers we currently have
runners,
here.
and they're all young people.
Yes,
all of them. The runners,
and they're so professional. We were just talking about it earlier before we came here. They're so professional, so good at their job. They have so much dedication to their job, and it's amazing to watch. They're all young people. So in terms of employment, we can see in all different facets how the OIC is contributing to the local economy. And this contribution does not just stop here now. I think we'll be able to greatly account for it after the summit, when we are able to, you know, really sit back and take stock of what happened during this entire period. And let's not forget, it starts from the project, because our mandate is threefold, which is the resource mobilization, the implementation of priority projects, and the organization for the hosting of the summit. So you're seeing from where we started off, which is the projects, how many projects we have, the amount of employment that has come as an because of the projects, and we're also looking at how the country has greatly benefited, the amount of infrastructural development that we have witnessed because of the summit. So really, if you look at it from all facets, it's really, really, really amazing. And I think it will take us a little bit of time to actually be able to appreciate in totality the development that OIC has brought to the Gambia, and we're also happy that this is not just development that stops with the summit. Okay, the summit ends and that's it, but we know there is continuity, and that is something that we should all be proud of.
And also, Ndaikumba, how diverse is this whole process when it comes to upcountry? ñi ñu nekk Basse ak yeneen place yi xam nañ ne OIC mu ngi on.
Yes.
lan ngeen def, because Basse is in URA, obviously North Bank region. You know, how are they involved into this entire process?
So our communication campaign has been very rigorous. Any advert or advertisement or OIC messaging that you're hearing here, the person in Basse is hearing at the same time.
Yeah.
So we did not limit it to trying to reach the people that are here within the combos, but we have spread it across the country. We have worked with all the community radios in the country. Okay. The same way that we are dealing with radios and TVs here in spreading OIC messages, OIC updates, letting the general public know what is happening in terms of the OIC. It's the same way we are relating it to the entire country through our partnership with community radios.
Yeah, so let's just change topic a little bit, but still has to do with young people. Today is Labor Day. You know, today is International Labor Day, 1st of May. And as we are young people and we're doing well, and we were just talking about how the OIC has actually employed a lot of young people when it comes to protocol, becoming protocols, when it comes to being runners, and just in gardening, the painting. I saw that the painting was also done by a young person, and also
and even the branding.
The branding with STS.
You've seen STS, you've seen Use Gig, they are photographers, official photographers. You've seen Fantasy, with
exactly.
The
all young.
So in all,
they're all young people. So on Labor Day, what are some of the things you reflect on, Ndaikumba?
On Labor Day, I think every day is Labor Day. I think every day is
Labor Day for you.
I don't think I've taken the time to sit down and
think,
or maybe because I'm too busy.
You're too busy with everything. But on a normal day.
Refer to me next year.
But generally, you know, in previous years, how do you actually picture the day? You know, it's today. How do you actually picture it as a young person?
I think for mostly Labor Day is for us to sit down and take stock. I don't know of, especially for institutions, I don't know how many institutions do that, to take a stock and look back at where we are and how far we have come. And also for me, basically I would say it's a moment of reflection. I mean, here today I am here at the OIC, but prior to the OIC I've been in other places doing other work, alhamdulillah. So basically, it's a day of reflection. Where are you at? Where do you want to be? And you can reconcile that too.
Exactly. So Basiru, you, National Youth Council, you're there for, you know, to serve the interests of young people. And there's an informal sector. You know, there's a huge informal sector that actually exists where young people are part and parcel of, you know. So does the National Youth Council actually raise their voice when it comes to those issues? Because I think that is exactly what should be looked into when it comes to the economic welfare of young people.
Yeah, thank you so much. Actually, when you asked me about moments of reflection, actually, my heart, I was really kind of emotional at some point.
Why is that?
Because I usually think people, especially young people who are out there under the sun, working so hard to make ends meet. And then all those people are in the informal sector, which our mandate is to, regardless of whatever you're doing, you are indirectly or directly contributing to the advancement of this country. So at the level of the Youth Council, I will just take it within the Ministry of Youth and Sport. Usually, the National Enterprise Development Initiative, which is NEDI, is training lots of young people who are in the informal sector. Because if you look at the Ministry of Youth, we have series of satellite institutions who are mandated of different portfolios. So what we did at the level of the National Youth Council, I will just say the Youth Connect, Youth Creative Lab. We have one in Jara Soma and then one at the National Youth Council Secretariat. The lab is always busy. Young people are trained there, not only trained but also given grant to expand on their business. Those in the informal sector, if they don't know how to resource mobilize or how to move their business from ideation to scale up or like to other categories of business. Another reflection is young women who are out there working tirelessly. And again, another part of it is because if you look at the National Labour Force survey, which was recently conducted, it always hits me hard when it comes to, if I reflect on the data, saying that over 45.3% of the young people who are neither on skill and again the need percentage, not in employment.
It's crazy.
But if you look at the Youth Volunteerism Project, which I'm part of, which is brought by Rafaela, and then the Mayor of Banjul, which I am the head of the implementation. So if you listen to those in the informal sector, their stories, how they are eagerly, looking for help. And I'm glad that today we were able to send 60 young people to different institutions to learn skill. Because, okay, you want a job, but what skill do you have to get that job? So that's what we look for. And then we were not only stopping at giving them a job, but we hired a consultant, conducted a need assessment to know what are the marketable skills which are demanded by the local market. So at the end of the day, a report was produced, and then based on that, we scout those in the informal sector, and then they are deployed with their
in the right way. Because
in the right way.
You know how these things can be. I'm not trying to bring any negativity, but we just want things to be fair, fairly done. Because there were projects in place that had to do with young people and a lot of talk. So I just don't want to hear the next minute where they'll call me, "Hello, Jainaba, this was not done fairly," and all of that. I just hope there will not be a situation.
For them,
but I'll keep monitoring.
Of course.
Yes, I'll keep monitoring.
It is always out there, and then they were given forms. They picked it up. We plan to send over 500 young people to learn skills.
Nice.
Not only stop there. And recently we have sent 3 people outside of Gambia to go and 2 in Nigeria. They are currently enhancing their skills in cosmetology, and 1 is in Senegal who's enhancing, and we are planning to take people to Spain as well. So we are
when you're taking people to Spain, make sure to do it properly. I don't want a situation, like I said, I want everything to go on smoothly. But to go back to the OIC, I don't want Labor Day to actually take over the whole OIC.
I just wanted to add that there is currently a trade fair going on.
I was going to come to that.
And also an investment expo, which is also which will be graced by His Excellency the President. So I think these are 2 important programs that are going on that people need to know, and the young people are at the trade fair, so it's a good opportunity and a good time to support.
I am so happy to see young people. I saw the Gambia Youth Chamber of Commerce participating, the Women's Chamber of Commerce. So I actually like that bit, the bit where you actually showcasing, the talents of young people in different areas, cosmetology, design, and all of that. Actually, the outfit that I'm wearing is by Labado, and she's currently at the trade fair.
Wow.
She's a young person as well, and she made this, and it's really beautiful. And she's currently at the trade fair at Kairaba Beach Hotel to showcase, the designs that she has. So make sure to stop by, even as a Gambian, to support.
I
young
think people should really come out in their great numbers and support. The trade fair is currently on, and There's so many sellers there, and I think it's a great opportunity to go and see what they have and try to patronize them.
Yeah, so we'll just take a short break now, but before that, you wanted to say something?
No, I also wanted to say for the component of the delegates, we'll actually be having full buses between the center and the trade fair, so that delegates are able to go there and also
buy
yes,
things.
and also explore
Protocol
the
officers,
fair.
take note if you're watching.
Right.
Take note if you're watching. So we'll just go for a short break, and when we come back, the conversation continues. Stay with us.
Oda Kenya ni khirsuma khagala bono na kaume na dabari ona bana kunterendi ono lada nsemendi okumanya khirsunga ni kubeno yona hakilu njabandi nke Gambia amenta baka Africa nke Gambia serentari ni na bonondina nke Gambia amenta baka Africa nke Gambia agala bono na sirondina.
What I go to Jodo for your imogoli deng de mojo bere do aduna utinde musibe julbe mijeji onene ne goto bado goto ime foten holembo di me holena mume ejike me mojere mede hika koturu me holembe fale me
peace to the motherland, peace to the people living here, peace to the people who pray for the peace and the prosperity of the motherland. We are one Kananyu Kele, OIC La Bemba Fele. This a win for the Gambia, so let's stand up and get loud like Gambia, Gambia, Gambia.
Unity, peace and love. Unity, peace and love. Hey.
Gambia, Gambia, Gambia.
Unity, peace and love. Unity, peace.
All right, so that's the OIC theme song. And Kumba, we were talking about young people, and young people made up the majority of that video. You know, it's just Uncle Jaliba, Auntie Amisose, you know, and you know, a few of them. But you can count a lot of them, the Attacks, Our Gambia, Hussein Dada, these are all young people, Bobo Dimo. And I mean, it's a beautiful song.
It is, and the video as well.
Yeah.
I saw you dancing to Jenna.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I danced to it. I danced to it.
Wow,
but mo dafa agdan man. Mo dafa neka di agdan man.
It's actually a very, very nice song.
Yeah, it's really a good song. Yo, nag da nga ne deglu nga ko be sona. Lolo nga wax de.
Waaw deglu
ko degluwaat nga ko.
waaw deglu na ko waaw.
Yeah, it's a really good one.
It's a really nice song, and I'm so proud ne. Gambian ni la ñep.
Wow.
Yeah, so and they enjoy what they did, like what we were discussing. So day is all about Gambia. So though what be bari na outside, but then at the end of the day, so let us put the Gambianism out there, regardless of come Lord on like even so put a flag. Yang support the agenda of the Gambia. Warlo har ken mo wala pigal mbalit bi ni wala nga ne kasam bir mo di sani mbalit bi nga expect o la ñu ngi implementé ki mo wara balé fini o kenen. So every citizen, every patriotic citizen da nga am a role to play. So always sa deka even so getting outside da nga de ko te sel flawa naka nga gisé suma deka. So because of that nationalism, that patriotism si gaay la nekk. So Gambian mi tamit dereti Gambia moom moo war a daw sa am yaram bi. So obviously waruñoo nekk di yaxante o whatsoever.
So dafa mel ni time bi moom bari lu ñu dese bariwul waaye ndey Kumba gis nañ ne tamit Gambia Police Force ñu ngi doon ak the Gambia Transport Union because drivers yu bari ay young people lañ. Gambia fii soo seetee driver yu bari ay xale lañ. Fii fu mu nekk ni drivers yi la ñoo waxal because during the period of the OIC tamit ñoom tamit they expected pour ñu follow traffic rules as young people because ñun ñoo fee des su méttee ñii fi nekk suñ leaders yu fi nekk ni dañoo dem su ko defee ñun ñu des fi and traffic tamit mobility has a very big component when it comes to OIC bi.
Kontaan naa trop when transport union bi ñu génne press release no di ñaax drivers yi pour ñu adhere to traffic rules because xam ngeen time bi ni delegates yaa fi bari présidents yaa ngi ñëw so traffic bi fu mu jaar dina xat so loolu ta Gambia transport union ñu ngi waxal ñi nga xam ne mooy ñoo nekk under the purview pour ñu jàppale ñu daal ñu follow traffic rules yi nga gis mu mun a flow mu mun a smooth ñu ñëw si jaama ñu dal si jaama ñu ñibbi si jaama
masha Allah waaye maam ko dafa mel ni fudan nga am noonu bii tamit si OIC bi la pour wane sa tradition wala lan
dina man nag dama bëgg a fudan
so amu dara fudan
bokk na si
waaw bokk na si man yëg naa loolu man xam naa loolu so what special thing nga def Basiru because xam naa ne you have an outfit and everything ready
Basiru bi xam naa dem nar naa sanse
waaw Basiru sanse bi nga nar because foog ñu wane tam suñ ñaw yi foog ñu wane the African attires and everything ba pare gis nañ ne protocols yi runners yi ak local organizing committee bi yëpp will be in African attire mu nekk loo xam ne tam dafa am solo. So what should we expect? Physical part bi am na sa solo dana ñëpp sa
naga expect lan leen xamee Gambia like
lan lañ la xamee yow
man
bëggu ñu doon ko daala baax na daal
man daal lu Gambia ni yëpp di sol man lu lay sol
ñun ñëpp ñu ànd
waaw ñun ñëpp ñu ànd si
baax na waaye ndey Kumba
sañse nag suñ doole
waaw sañse moom suñ doole la nañ génna comme niñ ko dee nañ génna ñu def yëpp mu rafet benn ñaari fan la waaye ñaari fan bu am doole la parce que yow wax nga lu si nekk si biiram waaye ba léegi rek balaa ñoo tàggatoo nga remind you the importance of the OIC in the local language si Olof ñu gën a mun a xam rek balaa ñoo dem balaa ñoo tàggatoo.
waaw comme ni nga ko waxee rek OIC bi am na solo lool si li nga xam ne mooy suñu réew. ndax ñu ngi teeru OIC délégation fii ñu toll ba 57 member countries. mu nekk loo xam ne opportunité bu rëy la pour Gambia. njëriñam bi moom bari na te doon nañ di ko gis. am nañ si projets yi bari yi nga xam ne OIC moo ko waral. dooree ko projet yi airport projet yi tali yi projet yi nawet projet yi daal bari nañ macha allah. te gis nañ ne réewi Gambie ñi kontaan nañ si ndax ñu see njëriñoo waaye fan yu ñëw nag commencé na démba fii ba dimanche dinañ am activités yu bari ndax ñu ngi teeru gan yu bari ñu war a ñëw dajee fii nga xam ne mooy Gambie nag maanaam aduna bi yëpp daal foo compté si continent bu nekk foo continent ñëpp a ñëw tase Gambia so mu nekk lu rëy pour réewi Gambia so ñu ngi ñaax ñëpp ñu nekk good ambassadors of the country te tamit ñu yokk patience si trafic bi ak yooyu noonu ñu xam ne ñun ñoo nekk di host ñun ñooy dalal gan yi so suñu gan yi dañu war a comfortable dañu war a kontaan ñun li nga xam ne loolu la ñu mën a def rek ku nekk ak your own level loo mën a def rek di war nga koo def ci kontaante nga xam ne lii réewi Gambia nga koo defaral te ndami réewi Gambia ndami ñun yëpp la
waaw xam naa nag ñi seetaan xëj na dinañ ne waa lan la si xale yi doon lan la si xale yi doon so lan la si xale yi doon Basiru si OIC summit bii nii
ndaw yi de ñoom ñu amee Gambia te soo seetee staff si ñu nekk di support yëpp ndaw ñu ñoo si gën a ëppa soo seetee si wàllum protocole bi wàllum drivers yi wàllum runners yi wàllum ñëpp ndaw yi dañ si am cër bu baax a baax a baax comme nekkuma nu ko waxee because soo si amutee waaye
am na luñ la si wàlla buñ la si jox
génn nga si expérience boo xam ne dina la dimbale ba di nga mun a dem liggéey ak ku nekk because lii nekkut an easy thing expérience la boo xam ne mosuloo koo dunda yaa ngi liggéey ak ñi nga xam ne bokku leen foo leen jógee yaa ngi deal ak nit ku nekk so that human relation boo nekk di am that respond to deadlines and then that respond to pressure ñu ngi ko doon wax fii nii léegi so having different people coming especially ñu nekk at the center so it was an amazing journey and ndaw bu nekk daal even whether yaa ngi si center bi whether delegate nga or not yow tam participatal si even delegate boo tase even su fekkutee bokkuloo si local organizing committee oo nekkuloo delegate yow as a citizen sa rôle mooy nga jaay the agenda of the country and boobu I think whether yaa ngi si OIC bi nekkuloo si OIC bi yëpp it's your responsibility as a citizen.
waaw ba pare ndaw yi nga xam ne tamit nekkuñ jullit because xam nga normally OIC bi you know dañ ko jël def ko peg ko under something that xam nga benn religious dara la waaye di nga gis ne that is not the case ndey ko ba it's beyond that waaw mun ngaa wax si loolu tamit
I think ñun OIC bi from the very start leeral nañ ne du nekkut daje religious leaders organisation si boppam bi sa OIC sa political organisation dégg la luñ faa waxee su ñoo yóbbu réew yi nga xam ne jullit yi ñoo fa gën a bari wala islamic countries la seen problème su ñoo jànkonteel ak nuñ ko yóbbu si kanam waaye li yëpp luñ fa discuss sa political discussion te loolu ñëpp a si war a bokk ñëpp a si war a gis seen
ñëpp a si am
te ñun suñ level of secretariat bi loolu lañ push out
just to yokk si loolu gis nañ fi Cameroon member state la ba soo seetee seen percentage of Muslim is just 20%. So nekkut affaire yi kii jullit la or not bépp lu fi wax is about the development of
chief guest of honor bi sax China la waaw te foofu tamit it's not like majority Muslim country
so for now yooyu state observers
exactly state observers yi invite yi so suñ seetee si loolu rek waaw suñ seetee si loolu so fu mu nekk nii daal xol yaa ngi fiix noonu laa ko mën a waxee parce que finally 4th and 5th jot na ba pare waaye dafa mel ni time bi jeex na soo Basiru lan ngaa tàggatoo
lu ma tàggatoo mooy dama bëgg a wax nit ñi ne OIC is the second largest intergovernmental organization I would say so na ku nekk bépp Gambian kuy seetaan ma ngi laa ñaax ne even anything bépp lépp loo mun a def pour make sure ne jaay nga agenda Gambia def ko because at the end of the day it's all our benefit whether yaa ngi bale whether yaa ngi mais nit ki sax mun nga tase ak moom because we are known for the smiling coast of Africa so gan yëpp na gaay feel ne ñëw neen to the smiling coast of Africa na leen be kind dalal leen ak jàmm drivers yi follow traffic rules yi ak transport yi nu ko waxee ku nekk daal si loo yëngatu fexeel nga contribute whether directly or indirectly towards the success of the
yow moom Basiru xam naa dinaa la dig dox daje si beneen youth dialogue because am na yu bari yu ñu war a mën a waxtaane
lu mu wax ne lu rëy a ngi ñëw
waaw lu mu wax ne lu rëy a ngi ñëw dinañu leeralal fii te xoolal dinaa la mere nag soo spilé di beans feneen fudut youth dialogue Ndey Kumba na leer
maa ko seede
waaw yaa ko seede fii la moo xewee sudut fii du mun a xewee feneen soo loolu leer na waaw jeex na yeah soo Ndey Kumba fu mu nekk nii lan ngaa tàggatooyee I know comme ni nga ko waxee it must have been tiring but tiring for a good reason tiring bi nga xam ne yaa ngi koo enjoy ba pare I mean man secrétariat bi sa ñëpp ñu fa nekk it's a proud moment ñun dañ ñëw lastly dugga si understand nga ñun nekkuñ si biir secrétariat bi ñun dañ ñëw bokka jàppale puus gaal biy dem la rek xëj na ñu ñëw puus wala moto bu xaw a paan tuuti ñun ñëpp ñu ñëw puus ko mu dem understand nga waaye ñoom ñoo nekk si biiram ñoom ñoo ensure ne moto bi su waree mën a daw tuuti sax daw na so loolu rek it's pride
waaw mu nekk kontaante bu rëy te ñu ngi kontaane finally lu dañu waajal di ko waajal di pareel ñëw na finally te mu ngi demee nuñ ko buggee suñ délégué si kontaan nañ ñun kontaan nañ te ñu ngi gën a pare li nga xam ne nag mooy dalal président yi so kontaan nañ si torop ñu ngi ñaax Basiru man daal bu mu waxee ma ne kii moom wax na yëpp xam sa lu ma see yëpp la wax waaw comme ni mu ko waxee daal ku nekk daal foo yëngatu daal nga xam ne lii réewi Gambie ñu ñoo ko moom ñoo ko bokka nañ ko gisee noonu mu nekk ndami ñëpp daal
waaw ba pare Ndey Kumba mi def fudanam ba pare
ay yow man war naa wane fudan bi de
waaw fudan baa ngi noonu moom wax na ne dina sant dina ko def nu ko nit ñi xamee man tamit ma ñëw as a protocol sant gisuloo man dama ko teel a teral sa def nii comme nu ma ko waxee woon rek trade fair bi it's also happening pour nit ñi xam it's not only for the OIC delegates but for the entire country pour ñëpp ñu dem support la mbuba bu ma sol nii sax si trade fair bi la jógee te ku dem si trade fair bi am lu mel nii wala lu ko daaxa waaye Ndey Kumba nag dafa mel ni daf ko bëgg a sàcca si man waaye dafa mel ni du ma ko nangu waaye negotiation la dinañ seet how it will turn out waaye Ndey Kumba super proud of you for being a young person and being in the local organizing committee and working for the secretariat. I mean your names as part of the people who worked in the secretariat will be in the Gambia's history books you know for the longest time ever as the individuals who've worked on this very very important summit. So super proud of you and also super proud of Basiru as well. You know, being a young person working for the National Youth Council and being part of the local organizing committee to ensure that there's a successful OIC summit. And to the media as well, I feel like the media has done extremely well when it comes to the aspect of publicity and all of that. So comme niñ ko waxee woon rek ñun ñëpp a war a mën a come together. Driver bi young person la ku bokk si organizing committee bi young person la koona boo duga si affaire OIC bi di nga fa gis ndaw so su baaxee ñun ndaw yi la su bonee tamit ñun la so fu mu nekk nii dafa mel ni dinañ tëj programme bi fii ñu mun a dem seeti 10 pm news bi ak yeneen programme ba pare bu leen fàtte toppaleen QTV gis ngeen suñ set buñ am fii nii dina fi nekk ba OIC bi jeex dinañ suñ programme si maanaam suñ programme si yëpp fii lañ ko bëgg di defee fii si ground bi si OIC venue bi so bu leen dem fen make sure leen ne every day ngeen toppañu because every single day we'll be giving you the updates as it is happening right here at the OIC Summit in Bijilo. Thank you so much for watching and see you next week.